Hello again, Salima.
Hi, Mia. Good to see you again. How are you doing?
Good, good. Actually, lately people are asking me about the new process in BC family courts. Why are things being changed?
Yeah, that's a good question. There are some big changes coming for some registries. I think that people have decided that it really is better for families to stay out of the court process as much as they can and resolve things through dispute resolution. So there are some big changes coming, in Surrey and Victoria, definitely, and some other smaller changes in other registries.
So, what's the first step now for people with a family issue?
The first step is really going to depend on which registry you're in. If you're in Victoria or if you're in the Surrey Court Registry, your first step is going to be filing something called a notice to resolve. And then you go into this really amazing process where you meet with the family justice counselor. They do a needs assessment about what people's issues are, what they're really looking for. You complete a parenting education program. And then you actually go into a consensual dispute resolution with the family justice counselor, where you might end up coming out of there with an agreement or a consent order that you go ahead and file. But if you're in, the Kelowna, Nanaimo, or Vancouver registry, a few less options than that, in that you participate in a needs assessment. Again, a family justice counselor will help you decide what you really need, what everyone's looking for. You complete a parenting education program. There isn't the same consensual dispute resolution process, but if need be, you can jump off and go see a family justice counselor through another program. That's still available to you. And if you're in any one of the other registries, for example, Chilliwack, New West, North Van, then all you're doing there is completing a parenting education program. And again, if you want to go jump off to see a family justice counselor through a different program, you can do that. But really, for all registries, the big change is going to be is that if you aren't able to resolve things in these early stages, your first introduction to the court is going to be now something called the family management conference, whereas before it was something called a first appearance. So that is the big change for people, how they enter the court system.
Okay, I'm sorry, Salima. What is a family management conference?
That is a really good question. So now instead of coming to court in something called a first appearance and then coming to what used to be called the family case conference, you now come into something called a family management conference. Now, lots of people are saying, hey, that's just a different word for family case conference. Well, we have to be really careful because there actually are some similarities, but there's some huge, important differences that we all must keep in mind. The biggest difference is at a family case conference, even if you were prepared, unprepared, you could go in, and if you didn't like what was happening there, if you don't agree, you don't get an order that day, so you can go off and think things through. However, now at a family management conference, whether you agree or not, a judge can make an order. People can provide evidence, judges can accept evidence. So it really is quite serious. So before you go into your family management conference, use the needs assessment process if it's available to you. Use the family justice counselor program if it's available to you. Do whatever you can to really prepare yourself for this family management conference, because it's a very serious court appearance.
But what about people in a situation that's urgent? Do they need to go through this process?
Really good question, Mia. You're right. If you have an urgent need, like a protection order, or your child is suddenly moving out of the country with the other partner and you want to stop that, what you do is you make an urgent court application, and there's a special form for that. And you don't need to go through any of these other steps before you fill out that form, and a judge will hear you and hear your evidence and hear the other party if the other party should also be at this hearing.
That's great. Thank you so much for your help today, Salima.
Thank you. You're welcome, Mia. See you again.